5 things that we learned Canada versus Qatar. We need a big game for Canada in order for us to move on to the next round. And they did it. 6-0 against Qatar, and we're now top of the table in Group B. Every single player showed up, except for Max Crepeau, obviously, because he didn't do anything. 6 losses combined in 1986 and in 2022. In 2026, 1 win, 1 draw. First thing that we learned is we took advantage of the small mistakes. First goal from Cyle Larin was a mistake that the goalie did. It was a shot from Jonathan David, and it was put back in the middle for Cyle Larin to tap in. Second goal for Canada, it was a mistake from the defender from Qatar, which deflected in the pass of Jonathan David. This is what I was talking about. Every small margin needs to be taken care of, and Canada did. All the mistakes that Qatar did, Canada took advantage. This is what big teams they do to small teams. The difference of Qatar and Canada is obviously large, and Canada showed it today in a game. Second thing that we learned is our striker finally showed up. In the last 2 videos, I was talking about how in order for us to move on to the next round, we need the scoring from both our strikers, Cyle Larin and Jonathan David. And guess what? Today, they carried the game. In the last game against Bosnia, our striker didn't really do much, except when obviously Cyle Larin came in and made a difference to tie the game. However, before that, it was all quiet. And this game was what we needed. We needed our strikers to finally score, to get the confidence back so that we can go on the next round. 3 goals from Jonathan David, 1 goal from Cyle Larin. The thing that we learned is Ismaël Koné will be a big miss. First of all, I wish him a speedy recovery, and all prayers are going to him. Football can be cruel sometimes. He's one of the most important players for Canada. There will be a little bit of tune-up that is needed from Jesse Marsh, but I think he'll be all right. But again, Koné will be a big miss for us. I think that this Canada, I think Canada is actually cursed. First of all, the injuries that we had before the World Cup to now losing one of the most important players for our team. Listen, these are things that you cannot control. We'll fight for Ismaël Koné, and that's all we can do. But it is really unfortunate the fact that we keep getting injuries in our team. Today, again, we saw Moise Bombito actually coming back and playing the whole second half. That's a big plus for us. But the injuries are really a curse for Canada. And yeah, we hope that Ismaël Koné is able to recover quickly. Obviously, I don't think he'll be back for the World Cup, but he did what he did for us when he was here. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he can recover quickly. Fourth thing that we learned is our plays are still not great. I mean, Jesse Marsh said that before the game that the weakness that Qatar had was the crossing of the ball in the box, but I still think that we need lots of improvement in our plays. Listen, today we were lucky enough, not so much lucky, but our energy put pressure on Qatar to make all those mistakes. So I think that there is still need lots of improvement in our play. We cannot do side to side a lot or crossing a lot. We have to start creating more also in the middle. And listen, today we played a wicked team, Qatar, and obviously it was a simple, not so much a simple game, but it was not a difficult game, and we took advantage of that. But again, if in order for us to move on to the next round, we need to have better plays. Listen, we take what we can. 3 important points that Canada needed, and we got it. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's just the 3 points, and that which puts us on top of the group, obviously by the difference of goal difference. And next game, we don't really have to, obviously we want to go in and win the game against Switzerland. However, all we need is a tie. But with our mentality, we have to go and try to win the game. And hopefully we don't get any more injuries and win the game for Ismaël Koné. And at least finish first in the group. That's our goal. And I think we can achieve that if we lock in, keep the same energy that we had from the beginning. We can become top. Fifth thing that we learned is hat-trick hero Jonathan David is back. Again, in my last video, I was a bit on Jonathan David. I said that in order for us to move on to the next round, Jonathan David needed to start kicking on, and he did, and which is really good, especially to do right now, because again, that gives you confidence for the next round. So really happy with Jonathan David. Hey, guess what? He's now level with Messi in goals. That's one thing you can never say that again. So worried about Jonathan David not scoring, and he showed us all the errors that he's still the Jonathan David that we all know. I mean, we saw a couple of reports in the news that Juventus is ready to sell Jonathan David. Again, I think with this performance, I think maybe it will add a little bit of that hesitance in Juventus. But again, who cares? You know, as long as Jonathan David is scoring for us, that's what matters. We're really happy. Again, so the first ever hat-trick for Canada in the World Cup, and of course it was with our top scorer in Canada, Jonathan David. We hope that he keeps going. We hope that this is just the start of him scoring. I hope that next game he can continue in the same energy. Again, it doesn't have to be a hat-trick, but at least keep scoring, and that's what we want. We want our striker to keep scoring, not only just for Jonathan David, but also for Cyle Larin. So really happy with that. Really happy with our overall performance, Canada. We really started with a good energy and finished on top. And Qatar was, oh my goodness, we bombarded Qatar. And again, this is what we need. This is who Canada is. I love the passion that they had. I love the passion that Jesse Marsh had at the end. I still think that it's a bit too much, but hey, again, this is the first time ever that Canada scores 6 goals in a World Cup. So again, you gotta be happy with that, and I enjoy it. This is good, guys. This is good. This is one step towards the next round. So let's hope it keeps going. Let's go, Canada.